I'm going to put my golfing knowledge to the test today. I'm going to see if I can pick out Fujikura's new Axoim graphite iron shaft in a bunch of the leading steel iron shafts. Let's see how good my knowledge really is. So we've come down to the Ritz Grand Lakes Golf Resort and we've got my man Spencer here from Fujikura who is holding some blacked out shafts which I don't know which is each. In there is an Axoim, there's some steels as well, isn't there?
Correct, yeah.
So the idea is that the new Axoim shaft is going to perform like a steel, but it's a graphite.
Yeah, we've got a few tricks up our sleeve with that product. I just want you to hit some kind of 125X options that are out there.
Yeah.
Kind of go through them a little bit. We'll talk through them and see what you think.
Okay, let's see if I know what I'm talking about.
Let's do it.
So I'm interested to see what a graphite iron shaft at 125 is going to feel like as well, because the old perception was that graphite's no good in an iron. But with this new Axoim, we're saying it's going to be nice and stable, it's going to perform like a steel. So will I be able to pick it out easily, and how will it actually feel? Will it feel like 125? Because graphite, we always think light. But let's get into the first one here. I'm thinking steel, mate. Well, it's heavy, so steel potentially. Okay. Right, first shot. Bit of a pull. That felt, first impressions, shot one, that was, I'm going to say steel. I'm going to say steel. There is one little thing that is helping me a little bit on this test. There are steps on this shaft, so that's giving away the steel a little bit early on, but I wouldn't have doesn't feel like a dynamic gold though, I wouldn't say. I'm leaning towards that being like a KBS, or it's not Project X because they have those funky little steps in those, in that LZ thing. Comment down below, guys, would you actually play if you are someone who's always been in steel? Would you be someone who would switch into a graphite iron shaft if it was like a stiff or an X or a heavier graphite shaft? Would you do it? Or is there still the little stigma attached to it? Be interesting to see once it goes in here, how it pops to me, how it feels. Straight away, that feels light. Does it feel lighter? I can feel the head a bit more. Right. We've got potentially either a KBS C-tape or a Project X, or this is the Axoim. That felt solid. Very tight dispersion on those, like.
Yeah.
Flight-wise, didn't really have any deviation on those two.
Okay.
Flipped it. Oh, that felt brilliant. If this is a graphite, which I think I'm leaning towards, it feels just like a steel, but sounds a bit more thuddy.
Okay, that's 5, yeah?
Yeah.
So we've hit 2 now.
Yeah.
We're gonna hit 2 more.
Yeah.
But just thoughts between 1 and 2.
1 felt heavier.
Okay.
I would say felt like a bit more heavy throughout.
Okay.
This one I can feel the head a bit more on it.
A little more active?
Yeah, I can feel where it is. And sound-wise, that felt a bit more, like I say, a bit slightly different.
Okay.
I would say. Yeah, until I see another one, I'm.
Okay, we're waffling a little bit?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's go to number 3.
Okay. Interesting there, that's foxed me a little bit. Not sure on that, whether it's going to be steel or graphite. I think I'm going to go graphite for that one, potentially. No, steel. we'll figure it out after the next one. I think the next one will be the big telltale sign. So it's so odd, like going from steel to graphite, and graphite, like, because I've grown up just thinking, oh, graphite shouldn't be in irons, but if that was, then nothing wrong with it. Well, we've got the little, if we come in there, we've got the steps here, so that's one telltale sign. I do like one thing I do like is the blacked out look of the shaft. If all steel shafts look like that, or every shaft looked blacked out, it'd be class. Do you know what's got me here? Noticing all those flights. If you think of graphite, you think light. I would think that graphite iron shafts go high. Now I don't know what number 2 was. I was in between, but all of them are the same. Okay. Same height, not seeing like a
noticeable uptick.
Yeah, like, oh my God, that's so noticeable. It's
right.
25 feet higher.
Okay.
And yeah. Knowing that is a steel just because of the step pattern, I'm going towards that's an X100. Feels familiar. A little bit of movement. You've got the graphite iron shaft now. I know, like, there was a steel fibre one ages ago. What's the benefit of it? Why would you go from a steel to a graphite?
Well, there's a lot, and one of the biggest things that is beneficial is that we have a lot more levers to pull as far as technology and design.
Yeah,
right.
So it was the inconsistent.
We can do a lot of things with materials and graphite as far as changing performance features and things like that.
Yeah.
So for us, it's not just about weight and flex.
Yeah.
It's about taking improvements that we've made in, let's say, the wood shaft line, and integrating those throughout the entire bag.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that at the end, but that's a great question.
Yeah. Oh, that's left. Yeah, that's a dynamic. That's the only one I feel like I've got down. Ooh. That's 5.
That's 5. All right, let's go to number 4.
Okay.
Thoughts between the first 3. Now there's 3 in the rotation, so just checking in as we go through so you don't forget anything.
Yeah, definitely feel like it feels weight-wise. I could feel the weight in the one in the second one. I could feel where the head was. Okay. As where those, it felt like just like heavier throughout. Okay. If that makes sense.
And number 2 still has you stumped a little bit. Graphite versus steel?
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more.
Sound and feel that got me a little bit.
All right, let's do one more.
I feel like he's playing with me here. I feel like he's thrown in all steels and now he's going to throw in this last one. And I'll be like, oh, all right, yeah, I get it. I get it. Hopefully. Otherwise I'm going to look like a fool. Well, I know it's not a steel step shaft. I think the sound and feel is going to be the biggest thing that gives it away.
Okay. See how we do.
I think 2's graphite now. 2's graphite.
Okay.
Early on. Oh, no, that was a proper strike.
That's a beautiful shot right there.
Yeah. That's changed my mind, that one. 2 was a steel project.
Look at you, the wheels are spinning.
Yeah. For me, I would think there'd be like this wildly noticeable difference. But whatever this is and the 2 was, it's like they're tight.
Okay.
Club throw.
Okay, so before we even look at numbers, what do you think?
Obviously I could get the 1 and 3 easy.
Sure.
With the step.
But between number 2 and the last one, you're a little torn.
Yeah, I think that's the graphite.
You think so?
Yeah.
How confident are you?
I think with the good strikes, they just felt different to like what I felt from a steel before, and sounded a little bit different, sounded a bit more thuddy,
okay.
A bit more punchy with it. The thing that's foxed me the most is that there's not this, like, when you say, oh, graphite iron shaft, and I think of like a regular, lightweight,
right,
probably seniors flex shaft.
Yeah.
Think, oh, it's just going to go up there,
yeah,
spin ridiculous amounts and go nowhere near as far.
Yeah.
Yes, you'll get the extra club head speed.
Yeah.
But obviously it's
what's the trade-off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well, with all those shots, it was like, can't really pick a difference between them.
Well, your feel's pretty good. You did guess correctly. The last one was graphite. Right. But I love that it gave you a minute to pause.
Yeah.
And you're completely right in the fact that graphite definitely in irons has a stigma of being very light and very soft.
Yeah.
Or very high and very spinny.
Yeah.
Or even shot shape, it's very right to left bias.
Yeah.
What we've learned through the years is that as we design shafts,
yeah,
we have a lot of levers to pull in graphite that are a little bit different than steel.
Yeah.
And in our world, weight and flex always have a relationship together.
Yeah.
But we're able to kind of pull those levers a little bit more independently with graphite design shafts.
Right.
So that means we can make product that's very light and very stiff, or we can make product that's heavier and softer. We have the benefit of being able to do
everything.
that. Yeah, so when we talk about heavier weight iron shafts, we have the ability to make those feel a particular way and still hit a particular way.
Didn't feel like a real stiff rod that you would have to crunch.
Yeah.
You felt you still get that nice thuddy feel from it.
And one thing that we're very cognizant of in all of our shafts through the bag is feel.
Yeah.
And so we can make a 125 gram iron shaft pretty easily with just a bunch of material.
Yeah.
The question is, how can we make that feel solid to the player, responsive to the player, and achieve the performance metrics that we're trying to hit? So inherently what we see is in players that are gravitating more towards that 125 gram X, there are some things that they expect to see, and inherently, like to your original point, they wouldn't think that they would see those things out of a graphite option.
On the numbers front, were they all tight?
They were tight. Graphite, I would say, a little bit faster.
Okay.
Maybe probably about the same spin.
Yeah.
Launched a little bit higher. Club speed and ball speed both went up.
Yeah.
And your accuracy went way up.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's one thing that you never think of, like the consistency, the twist. Everyone was, oh, they're going to be wild.
You would think that when you're talking about a graphite product, you're introducing a lot of variables as far as dispersion.
Yeah.
But again, you know, when we're looking at design concepts, we found a lot of really cool ways in our wood shaft line to tighten accuracy.
Yeah.
And we're really just bringing those into the iron line, but we'll talk about that in more depth in a different piece. I love that it stumped you a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And just for nothing else, but, you know, like you said, a couple of these have steps in them, I can tell they're steel.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that they all felt kind of in the same range to you.
Yeah.
And there was no massive outlier, right? Everything felt like it was very close, and you're just picking and choosing kind of independent factors that you like.
Yeah.
So what's cool about that is you're not automatically ruling out a graphite option, you know, because it's such a departure from what you'd want to see. It's right there in the mix, and then we can nitpick the numbers and see what's best.
Even seeing the ball flights, all of them, they were, like I say, very much the same.
I love that.
Feel just
That's great.
Guys, there we go. I actually have a little bit of knowledge. I slightly know what I'm talking about.
Just a hair.
Thanks as always.
You got it, buddy.
Try it out if you get to see it in stores where you are. Definitely go and give it a try, and you know, see if graphite could be the new iron shaft for you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in another one soon.